Okay, team, Corey starting us off in Beasley production. Corey is a lean machine, tons of amazing ideas from him, and he's the resident poster. He's not afraid to get in front of the camera, so way to go, Corey. Here he's showing us the jam they used to use for teaching and for the warrior certifications. So he made a new one with just numbering the different parts of the jam with the answers on the back to use, so the answers aren't right there. Just a better tool for certifications and for training. So very cool. I also think the black Sharpie shows up better on that color. At least it does on the camera. Seems like an improvement there, just making that a little bit easier. But Corey, you're awesome. Staying on the Corey train, showing us a number of improvements out here on the floor. So first over to hinges. He had a number of different hinges that we don't use as often, just in boxes down there. He replaced it with the little bins, much more visible, easy to see what you've got, less wasted motion when you go to grab those hinges. He labeled them, where before it was just kind of a mess with the boxes there. So awesome improvement there from Corey. Might label those with actual printed labels. Could be an improvement. I don't know, but worth thinking about. And then the QC process for the Eagle, he's got posted in English and Spanish, as well as specs, bore specs, hinge specs, that type of thing. All the information you need is right there at the station. Way to go, Corey. You're awesome. Staying at Beasley with a little product knowledge session. I love this. I think Brian initiated this. So drawing the different slab profiles there and seeing if the guys can name them, I believe is what's going on. Kevin's hiding behind the camera here, and Travis and Brian are going over different profiles, trying to make sure they know what they're looking at, know what you're grabbing. That's a huge deal to prevent defects and over-processing. So love that the guys took some time for a little product knowledge. Corey showing us an improvement related to transportation waste. I believe this was Francisco's idea. So battery chargers right there in Beasley production on the exterior end of the shop. This is over by the Magnum. Perfect spot for them right there on the wall if you're working by the Magnum. But if you're on the other side over by the Diamond, Francisco identified a lot of transportation waste in going to swap out batteries. So added some battery chargers on this side of the shop. Beautiful improvement, Francisco. Jeffrey with a really cool improvement here on the sales and marketing side that Nate identified when he was talking to a customer who did not know that we sold millwork and interior doors. So Jeffrey adding that to his email signature and then taking the time to show everyone how to quickly add that to their email signature. Jeffrey, this is awesome. Antonio with an incredible 3S improvement. So we used to have a bunch more of these cantilever racks, the two-sided cantilever racks. When we pick material specifically for a batch of trusses, they get staged on these racks. We used to overproduce the snot out of these. So we had like 4 or 5 more racks. And he noticed that when we did not overproduce, we didn't need those additional resources, freed up that space on the yard and just decluttered. So perfect 3S improvement from Antonio related to the amount of racks over on Truss side. Great job, Antonio. Another one from Antonio here, fix what bugs you. So where that house wrap, that used to be a big gap when you back in the trailer to the chipper, that chips the little bit of waste that we produce out of the truss plant, and it used to create a giant pile right there at the base of the trailer because there was a gap. He just filled that in and eliminated a ton of excess processing every time we fill a trailer. In wall panels, the guys rebuilt the table in the middle of the framing table of the exterior line, that wooden table right there, and they put wheels on it so that as the table opens, it rolls with the top side of the table. This is important because when you're building tall walls, specifically garage walls, and we got to put blocking in, it makes it way easier to jump on the table, get that blocking in the right spot. You're not reaching over the table and straining your back. You can jump up on the table. It's a quality improvement. It's a motion improvement. It's just really, really cool idea. Love that we thought to put wheels on it. Just incredible job, guys. So sawdust is a continual pain point and something that we're trying to limit wherever we can. Jose and Stairs with a really cool improvement. You can buy kind of cloth nets that go around a chop saw to limit the sawdust coming off that saw, but he draped it a little tighter and just used what he had. Use your head, not your wallet. Just took some house wrap that he had and made that a little more enclosed. So I love where your head's at, Jose. I hope this works really well. And if it does, we'll take that to other chop saws around Husky. Man, Aaron and the guys over in panels are just like the definition of use your head, not your wallet. Tons of amazing improvements related to the fence, the measuring fence here on the chop saws. They've done this all over the place. They upgraded this one so it's got face marks, which is really, really cool. They've got little wedge stop blocks that they've made. If y'all love this, I'm all about it. It's amazing. If you want the fast cap stops, if those are a little bit easier to use, happy to buy those as well. But regardless, you guys are incredible. And Andrew's showing us they've made that wedge stop to go along with their measuring fence. Now it has a standard location, just like everything should have. Andrew, you're awesome. Brenda on second shift in trusses, eliminating a bunch of transportation waste for herself. So when you've got a big batch of trusses and it's got a lot of plates, she'd have to take 2 trips to get all the plates to the table. She thought, hey, instead of doing that, what if we tied the 2 together? And guys, check this out. So tied them together. She's got 3 carts there, and now instead of making 2 trips, just 1. It works perfectly. Tied to the front wheels that steer. It's just incredible job eliminating transportation waste. Way to go, Brenda. So as many improvements as Corey and the team have made just in the stacking station on the extruder, the opening and stacking station, there's always more. So they had 1x4s, they had 3.5-inch strips of OSB, but they did not have 5.5-inch strips, and realized that there was a bunch of transportation waste every time they had to go get those over by the Mango. Now they've got a dedicated spot for it, got it labeled. Great job, Corey. Great motion improvement related to plate carts. So they used to be these little wagons that are down low. There's a lot of wasted motion having to bend down and grab those, and it creates a lot of fatigue when you do that throughout the day. So the team thought, hey, why don't we fix it and just make the wagon taller? So they've done that. The maintenance team have welded up legs to just make it taller, and they've continually improved that by adding a shelf on the bottom so that if you have a full box that takes up a lot of room in the wagon, you could just slide that under. And again, just make 1 trip instead of multiple. Really cool improvement, guys. And Travis Brown rounding us out in Mount Juliet with the concrete project. We are complete up there, and we want to eliminate struggle wherever we can. And man, the condition of the asphalt up there just creates struggle every single day for the guys on the yard. So I am thrilled that we got this fixed. Turned out really awesome. Gonna speed them up a ton, but more than speed them up, just make their day more enjoyable. So much easier. So Travis, thanks for keeping us updated on the progress up there. You guys are awesome. So what hit me this week was continuous improvement. So there's always room to improve. And you saw that this week in wall panels. So many improvements there from things. The stations are largely the same, but there's still improvements there to be made. And the plate carts and trusses is a great example. That was an improvement from the way we used to do it, is actually kitting them in the carts and pulling them to the tables, but we eliminated a lot of motion and a lot of transportation related to the improvements there. So just because something's been one way for a long time doesn't mean it can't be improved. The first idea is the worst idea, but it's the most important. Have a great week.